Canes fans, what's going on? It's Jazz and Manny Chang here on the six ring Canes
Nobody else showed up, man. Where's
we had
the
to bring a
King?
gator on. We had to bring a gator on because the Canes, none of the Canes crew wanted to come and celebrate with me. But that's okay, man. It is what it is. This is called love. I do the same for you, Manny. All right, so I do the same for you, brother. Canes pull out a tough one on the road against a team. I guess Vegas had. They didn't know what the hell they were talking about, man. 2.5-point underdogs. They win by 1. Unbelievable. Like, I can't believe that that's how the game went. But at the same time, they pulled it. This was a tough game for them, Manny. I mean, they're missing 11 guys, 2 offensive linemen. Our offensive line sucked today. We ran the ball a little bit better. I'm trying to pull up the stats now, but ran the ball a little bit better. And De'Aaron King played okay. But, man, the offensive line it just put us in positions where we kept struggling, and I mean, I don't know what happened there, but whatever. Look, at the end of the day, we're 7-1. You asked me earlier offline, who have they beat? Everybody that's been put in front of them, bro. All right, that's all you can ask for. I'm glad that they left Blacksburg with a W. It's 25-21. It was ugly. I have to admit that. We did struggle most of the game, but the defense came up big in the second half, only giving up 10 points. It was kind of early, but they gave up the 10 points early in the second half, and then at the end they buckled down, and you saw Jalen Phillips. What a game he had! Jalen Phillips had a hell of a game today. To Corey Couch. Started over Al Blade.
Couch actually, man, he made some great plays in the back end and on the line of scrimmage. He actually never gave up on that one play where I thought Hooker had at least plenty of room to run. And Couch actually blitzed from the other side of where Hooker was. And Couch got pushed, and he didn't give up, man. He ran right across the field and made that tackle, which I think could have kept that drive going, man. But I mean, listen, if anybody knows about COVID going on with teams, especially it's definitely my team with the whole Gator thing. We waited 2 weeks. We finally came back and played. But you guys shouldn't, see it. I know it's not. I guess you want to categorize this as an impressive win, and I'm going to put that in because despite everything that's happened the last 2 weeks, back-to-back road games, you went into Virginia Tech. Yes, they didn't have 80,000 fans enter Sandman or whatever crap you want to say. But still, you went there and you got it done in the fourth quarter. It didn't look great. It didn't look great early. You guys battled through it. Again, I thought the offense in the 2 possessions they had prior to the final one that Virginia Tech had could have iced the game. They got too conformal with these running sweeps and all this other. And I understand that the offensive line hasn't played great, but I thought you had multiple opportunities to ice the game in the end. But again, you let your defense take care of it, which, listen, they were playing on a high note after only giving up, I think it was only 10 points in the second half.
Yeah.
So those are things that you should look at and say, you know what? It's nothing to be impressive about, but it's a heck of a win. It's a heck of a victory on the road in the conference once again. And you know what? You're now still have that one loss against Clemson, and you just got to get ready next week. I don't know who you guys play next week. But
isn't it Wake Forest, maybe? I gotta check that.
I'm not really sure, man. But it's like I said, it's been two of the most difficult weeks of games for you guys with COVID happening. We still don't know exactly the details. Manny Diaz doesn't want to spill anything. My coach up in Gainesville had to say something because he was preaching for fans to be in the stands, and all of a sudden the entire football department has COVID, right? So it's one of those things that,
that's a different circumstance. Hey, you guys had everybody there that was sick, and thank God, everybody was okay after. But listen, man, it's tough. It's tough to play under these circumstances, no matter what. Because if you ask me, I'm gonna be completely nervous. Oh, it's Georgia Tech, by the way. We play Georgia Tech next week, 8 p.m. game.
8 p.m.
Yeah, it's an 8 o'clock game. At least right now it is 8 o'clock.
Where?
8 o'clock on Saturday.
Here at home?
Yeah, it's a home game.
Okay.
Under the lights. So look, listen. Here's the thing, man. These guys came up big, though. All right. That touchdown at the end from De'Aaron King to Mark Pope, another huge play that kind of gave us back the momentum that we needed. So that was really nice to see the Canes do that. It's just driving me crazy that I can't find the damn stats. but it's driving me crazy. They can't. Here's the thing, and that's without Brevin Jordan didn't do much. Will Mallory didn't do much, right? So when we got the other guys involved, and that was nice to see also that we didn't have to rely or depend on Brevin Jordan to make a big play. Mark Pope is starting to play a little bit better, man. We saw that today with that touchdown grab. D. Wiggins had a nice game today as well.
He had 8 catches for 106 yards, which is not bad at all.
That's
Harley had 6 for 51, and of course Pope had that big one in the end for the game-winning score. He had four catches for 50 yards and a touchdown. So it's what I'm saying. Like I would have wanted to see Jordan with more, but him and Will just stayed with 2 catches, 22 yards apiece. But listen, Blue said he wanted to see a little bit more of a running game. I thought it was there in the third quarter with Chaney running hard and Cameron Harris running hard. But again, some certain play calling for you guys, I just don't understand. It's third down, and I believe it was 6 or 7 or even 5. You're inside the 10, your own 10, but you call that widescreen play. I don't. And then the throws behind Harris, so he can't even get in, right into it and go upfield. Sometimes it's like,
Yeah, there was definitely some head scratching.
I definitely know that if it would have happened to me, I would have been like, what the hell are we trying to do here? Like you're not gonna psych a defense right now doing those type of things. But
I was confused. I was confused with that also. I definitely was. I didn't know
you had one of the most impressive drives that led up to the touchdown. So those are things that you gotta say they because that listen, after Vatek was embarrassed last week at home against Liberty, that they were you were gonna get their best shot, and their best shot was in the fourth quarter. They couldn't continue to put points up on the board, and you guys had the stops that you needed to, and and game ball kudos to Phillips and game ball kudos to Couch, man. Those 2 guys to me. And how about Amari Carter though? This play might not be something that you guys see as big, but I do. And that final drive where Vatek was driving, they had a first down, I believe. They called a screen. Right. It was perfectly executed. And I forgot the running back's name, Blackshear, I think it was. He made one guy miss, and a blocker was already on a Canes defender. If Amari Carter doesn't make that tackle, I'm pretty sure that running back runs another 10, 15 yards. But I know that play is not going to be mentioned, but I saw the hustle of Amari Carter today in the fourth quarter, and I thought that was great also to help you guys win. So
yeah, he actually had a
things that obviously are not going to be shown on the stat sheet, but those are things that when you watch, those are things that you want to see week in and week out. And I felt listen, not everything is going to be perfect, but it was those little things that towards the end of the game, it made the difference. And then they had to go for it on 4th and 10. And of course, they tried to do the hook and lateral thing, and the quarterback got killed in the end. So,
well, that's the difference between maybe this year's team and the last couple of years is that hustle and that effort that that Amari Carter showed on that play. It's as simple as that. I mean, the whole defense. Look, I think it looked uglier than it really was. Because Hendon Hooker was 19 of 29 for 200 yards, 202 yards. If this replay keeps playing, I'm going to throw my computer. 19 of 29 for 202 yards and an interception. Did throw a touchdown. Had some yards on the ground. He had 21 carries for 59 yards on the ground, and he scored on that 50-yarder. But look, Khalil Herbert was held in check. I know he was a bit banged up. Held in check, which is something that I said we need to do. We need to, hold on, contain Hendon Hooker to a certain degree. Khalil Herbert, the running game really wasn't that crazy. I mean, they lead college football, or they're up in the top 5, I think, in college football in rushing. 160 yards on the ground. We held them to 3.9 yards per carry, which is really nice. Yeah, they had 3 touchdowns on the ground, but that's what they do, right? They're a running team.
Hey, Ben, I'm sorry, man, but there's no other Gator fans here that want to be able to do this because Canes fans don't want to show up. What do you want me to do, bro? I'm trying to help you guys out here.
Hey, man, whatever, man. We still love them. I'll do a Gator breakdown with you too, man. Not tonight, but I'll do one with you again. I've done it before.
Listen, 5 Reasons has yet to have a nose team coverage, which is the greatest thing ever. So I think that's the best right now. That's the best thing. You both agree?
We'll keep it that way.
I'll tell nobody.
But look, you know what? And I want to bring that up really.
Ooh. What happened to Jazz? Did Jazz leave me now all of a sudden? What's going on here? Hold on, guys, 1 second. What the? Okay, hold on.
I don't know. I don't know
How was
what.
that?
I was about to ask you something and I
I was
disappeared.
like, how is a Gator fan gonna cover this right now?
I need a new laptop, man. So the question I wanted to ask you, okay, because I get this from a lot of my Canes friends. Yes, they don't like Florida, right? Obviously,
Exactly. I don't know what the hell just happened.
and I think, but I think that Miami and Florida, regardless of whether they play each other or not, it's a rivalry, right? I mean, do you agree
Absolutely.
with that? It's a
Absolutely.
rivalry, right? It may not be
Absolutely.
a rivalry as in we play each other every year and this. I get that, but at the end of the day, it's still a rivalry, and I think that
Correct.
some of my Canes friends are like, "Why are we? That's not a. We're not rivals. Why do you hate the Gators? Why do you?" I go, "Do you know the history between Miami and
Dude,
Florida?
if you look at
It's
the
nasty,
history
man."
if you look at the history before the 90s, the Gators were the ones to win these games, man, every single time. And then the Canes came back with a heck of a group in the 90s, and they've been dominant. And we all remember, the game in, the OB where the Gators were up by 20, 30 points, and all of a sudden all hell broke loose, and then, so
And the former Gator beat you guys. The former Gator.
basically, I forget his name, and I don't want to mention him either.
Rockwell, is that your time?
It's a game that me and Channing Crowder are not too happy about.
He was part of that game. Yeah, he was part of that game.
Channing, that OB, no, we go. But dude, listen, are you kidding me? It has to be a rivalry.
Yeah.
I think Canes fans, I guess most of them don't consider it because, like I said, they don't play on a yearly basis.
Right.
But it has to be because most of the time, the same coaching staff, the same recruiters are in the same school with you guys. Same as Florida State. I don't consider UCF a rivalry. I don't consider FIU, FAU. Who else is out there? USF. Get the hell out of here. We all know that the most three dominant schools in Florida, which one right now in Tallahassee is pure crap, has always been Miami, Florida, and Florida State, no matter what it is. Okay?
And we're always battling for state supremacy, right? Who's the best team
Correct.
in the state? We're battling in the recruiting grounds. We're always constantly battling for players and recruiting from all over the state as well. So for me, it's a rivalry. And speaking of rivalries, Virginia Tech happens to be, a rival for the Hurricanes as well. We've battled it out with them since the Michael Vick and Marcus Vick days as well, and even before that. Obviously, Miami has the upper hand.
Quick updated score. North Carolina ended up defeating Wake Forest 59-53.
Wow.
So Wake Forest will be coming. I'm sorry, no. So yeah. So I thought so Wake Forest had a lead in that game, correct? Yeah. So
yeah, they did.
Came back.
They were up big too. They were up big.
Mm-hmm. So there you go. So again, listen, Miami is now 7-1, correct? 7-1, number 9. 7-1, number 9 team in the country. And obviously, the only other team in the ACC that's top 10 right now is Notre Dame because of their win against Clemson. Listen, me and you know, and the whole world knows, and even my Frenchie knows. Okay, if Lawrence plays in this game, to me, it's no contest. I'm trying to be honest here. It is a no contest, right? So
I agree.
COVID,
blue things.
Notre Dame dropped. Way of working in the Irish luck, man. It's just happened to be that.
But listen, Blue Things. Notre Dame drops a game today to Boston College.
Boston College.
Yeah, and Boston College is a good team, man. So I wouldn't put it past them. And we're kind of, I guess at this point we're kind of lucky we're not playing Boston College this year because that's a tough team and they always play Miami hard.
I thought Miami had Notre Dame on the schedule, and that's not the case.
Nope. Last 3 games are Georgia Tech, and then Wake Forest and UNC who battled it out.
So to my knowledge, then the ACC title is for the top 2 teams.
Top 2 teams, period. So 2 best.
Right now, Miami's what, 3rd in that?
Number 3.
Yeah, man.
Because Notre Dame beat Clemson. So if Clemson beat,
can you imagine if it's a Miami Notre Dame for the ACC championship? Like I know we're not supposed to be traveling to games like fan wise, but bro, I think the whole Canes.
We're going.
The whole 5 reasons Canes is gonna find their way to freaking Carolina.
Yeah. We'll tell Ethan, I don't know what you have to do, but you better figure it out, man. And you better get us like 5 media passes for that one. All right. So that's gonna be wild. Vish will go to that one. We'll let Vish go to that one because he's closer to North Carolina than any of us. So but that would be wild. Miami Notre Dame.
Yeah.
I'd rather see that than Miami Clemson. Well, number one,
Clemson is actually off this week, so they don't play again till next week against Florida State, which that's when Lawrence comes back and he's gonna freaking put his foot down once again in the whole college football world by putting 50 plus points on this Florida State thing. So hey, listen, I know that we all knock on Florida State and whatnot, but what's happening over there in Tallahassee, it's listen, forget the rivalry, forget the hatred. It's sad, man.
Yeah, it's borderline. Yeah, I borderline feel bad.
Yeah. Oh, of course. I mean, because you got your top 2 first-round picks in the NFL came back believing in this head coach. And obviously, we saw what the whole thing happened with him saying that, well, I told the team about the Black Lives Matter movement. And it was like, no, wait a minute. You never really brought it up. And now you see what's everything that has transpired. It's holy crap. Like, this is like a storm with another storm with another storm. And
look, I hate to say this, and this is going to be controversial. I get it. But this is what happens when you mix, too many things, political topics and, all these issues together with college football and young kids who right now have a bigger voice than they've ever had, because now they realize, listen, this head coach, this guy, whether it's a white dude or a black dude or Hispanic, Asian, doesn't matter. This guy is not going to control what I have to say, right? Before they were kind of worried or concerned about saying something and then getting thrown off a team. And now they know that they have this voice, and if they talk and the coach reprimands them, the NCAA or the courts or the general population is going to back them up. It's going to go for them. So they feel more free to talk, right? And so this is what happens when you get coaches or you mix, politics and you mix religions and race. And I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm not saying it's a bad thing.
No, but then
what's gonna happen,
But then you saw how Manny Diaz took care of it. You saw how
that's true.
How our coach took care of it. You saw how Nick Saban did it. So why? Because it's Mike Norvell and he doesn't really know. I'm sorry. Like that shouldn't be an excuse. Okay, it's something that the whole world, especially the United States of America, had something to look at, and they had to put a voice out there. And he decided to, lay the wood per se in his own views, and obviously that backfired. But
yeah, it did. But that's what I'm saying. Like, it backfired on him.
But listen, what that football team program, that football program's going through right now, and their fan base, I would have never thought to see how low it can be, and it's definitely low because you have Willie Taggart down here collecting money from them. He just defeated FIU last night.
And winning football games, yeah.
And winning football games with his son right there on the offensive side. Like, so what was the issue here? It's not looking good for the Florida State fan right now.
It's looking tough. Tamorian Terry left the football program. Marvin Wilson left the football program now. I don't know. Man.
By the way, Canes, Georgia Tech next week. You mentioned it at 8:00. Sorry, fans. It's on ACC Network. You have 1 week once again to figure it out. Don't worry, Danny Gillette. If you can watch it, I got you. And anybody else, don't start DMing me for my password because it ain't gonna work.
Man, you're not gonna get it. I'm lucky. I got the ACC Network. I'm good, man. That's the beauty of not having cable TV, man. You got it all on the internet, so I'm good. I'm good there. Let's going back. Canes win 25-24 against the Virginia Tech Hokies. Let's a couple stats to run down. De'Ara King, 24 of 38, 255 yards and a touchdown pass. Big touchdown pass, and Mark Pope, 50-yarder. Cameron Harris ran a little bit better today, 14 carries, 63 yards and a touchdown, averaging 4.5 yards per carry. Jalen Knighton, 7 for 27, and Don Chaney, 8 for 25. So De'Ara King only had 15 yards rushing, but I could have been more, except he got sacked like 38 times is what it felt like. So, and he still scored on a 10-yard touchdown run. So, give him some credit. He kind of stood in there, took a beating today, and still, we still came out on top. That's a big game. Big win for the Miami Hurricanes, holding Virginia Tech's rushing attack to 160 yards on the ground. That's big as well. So, we won the battle there. Won the battle at the end of the game. At the end of the day, Miami's defensive front, came up big with some big plays at the end of the game. To Corey Couch also with a pick. He could have had a second pick there. and Bradley Jennings could have had another pick as well. So they kind of fought back and played tough at the end. I just don't understand, Manny, why they start off so slow. They look like Swiss cheese the first 2 or 3 quarters sometimes, where they just look at like, half the time like they're lost or they're not even trying that hard. And that's scary and scary good at the same time, because when they turn it on, you see how good they can be as a defense. But why are they not on the whole time as opposed to just turning it on certain times? Is it worrisome? I mean, it is worrisome. But then they come back and they play hard and they make plays. So,
I mean, I'm gonna say this for the offense, because to me they had a great first drive. What killed them was that fake field goal. I don't think they needed to do that. Obviously, that can kill momentum. But a little bit what Blue has been saying, and I truly believe this. Teams are now looking at Miami's offense, and they know that they can score within 1 or 2 plays. So when they get the ball on offense, they're just doing things a little bit differently than compared to what they did the previous week, where Miami could be looking at a game plan of all shotgun, and then all of a sudden when they play the team the following week, they're going all in ISO. And then those are things that the teams are doing because they realize as the game goes on, the type of talent that Miami has on defense, it cannot be compared to theirs. You know what I'm saying? You break down the ACC on defenses, Miami to me has the most talented group of guys. So they know at some point during the game, not in the first quarter and maybe not in the second, but when throughout the game, entering the third and the fourth quarter, when it's crunch time, that the guys are going to make plays. And that's what happened right now. And that's what I believe also happened against NC State, even though they gave up so many points. And that's what also happened against other teams, and where, Miami's gotten that punch by the other team so damn early when the offense has been struggling. But like I said, I'm a true believer that an offensive coordinator looks at the Miami defense and says, we know we cannot, go at them right away, because if we do what we kind of told them, in the previous game, I'm saying that they have talented guys all over the field. Let's try to trick them here and there. But the offense can't go 3 and now. The offense can't do a missed field goal attempt, fake field goal attempt. Like, those are things that can kill kids like this, right? Because it's not the pros. This game is off momentum. College football to me is greater than the NFL to me, because this is a league, or I guess it's a student athlete league. I don't want to say paid. Oops. Per se.
Yeah.
That you're out there to make plays because you want to play on Sunday, right? So you're gonna do what you have to do, and it's a game of emotion. It's a game of what's your current situation, what's your options right now. So that's what I believe. And when I thought about that, I said, Blue, you're damn right. When you break it down, there's no other defense in the ACC besides Clemson, and we understand. When we saw Clemson, it was like Miami were the boys, and Clemson were like the giant men of of the mountains or whatever, and then Miami's like this.
But looking back at that game now, you see that maybe Miami felt like it was too.
Miami, I believe, played it.
For them. And now if you look back,
played scared. To me, they played scared.
Yeah,
you cannot expect to win a game like that and playing like that from the get-go. You can't. You got to go out there and you got to show the opponent. Guess what? We may not beat David, or whatever. Or we're not Goliath or whatever. However that story goes, but we're here to play, okay? Because you had 2 weeks to prepare for this, right? If I remember correctly, Miami had 2 weeks to prepare for this game. Yeah, they had a bye, and you had Clemson on film, and you already know about Trevor Lawrence and whatnot. So to me, Miami just decided to play scared. They can't do that, because I truly believe that Miami, to me, is in control of their destiny. Man, they could win out and make it to the title game somehow. Because I don't think Notre Dame's for real. I just don't buy Notre Dame.
I think they can drop one to. I think they'll drop one to Boston College tonight. I think.
I don't. If we have to see Notre Dame and win one more college football playoff, I think I might just turn off the TV, because unless it's the Gators playing, then I'll watch it. But I just can't watch Notre Dame anymore. Try to pretend like they're any good. In reality, they've only gotten there because they're in an independent league that they played, yes, wherever they had on the schedule, but yet. They end up getting there because they can't really compare themselves to records or anything. I just find it to be a bunch of crap.
You want to hear something funny now that you just mentioned that you won't watch Notre Dame play unless it's against the Gators?
Yeah.
So imagine having your best friend date a Florida Gator girl. This was a while back, right? And obviously we have this history with Ohio State too, and the whole Patrick affairs thing. And
that whole Alabama Ohio State game was so difficult for me to watch because we have we have history with freaking Ohio State as well. So,
Imagine getting invited to the national championship party when it was Florida against Ohio State. Imagine that. So I totally, like, I wasn't there for the game, clearly, right? So it was just like no way. So I feel your pain on that too. Watching games against, like, I hate watching Notre Dame. I hate watching them. I hate watching Ohio State.
This whole old school tradition, and this is Notre Dame. I'm like, bro, you're not Joe Montana, dude. Like, you're not gonna get me excited. Okay, like, I'm sorry.
I'll watch. Look, I'll watch. Believe it or not, obviously I don't like the Gators, but I'll still watch a Gator game. First of all, because I recognize a lot of players on the team, right? So I want to see how they play. And second of all,
Miami plays.
And then sometimes I like to see if they're gonna get beat or not, and then obviously, I haven't had that.
No, you guys start to beat out, and then once you see the game's out of hand, you slowly disappear.
I stay there.
But you know what? We all do that. Come on, let's be honest here, guys. Like the game I will go right now and be like, damn, Miami won by 1. Whatever.
Yeah. The other thing we're gonna get it from Gator and even Seminole fans, and the worst to me is the Seminole fans right now. The FSU fans are gonna start trash us beating by 1 point. Yeah, and I'm like, are you serious?
They had one of the most pissful performances at home last week against Pittsburgh, and Pittsburgh scored 40+ points.
No.
How the hell? What? Since when does Pittsburgh have an offense? I'm sorry, it's not. It's not like Pitt has Aaron Donald on defense and LaShawn McCoy and Tony Dorsett on offense. Like, what the hell's going on here? And tonight they got NC State, and NC State can put up points now.
NC State's going to beat FSU though. They're going to run all over them.
Oh no, they're gonna, dude. Florida State is down, I believe, to maybe their second or third stringers on offense.
Yeah.
You have such a commotion going on that side of the ball. Then you go defensively. You lost your leader in Marvin Wilson. Who the hell doesn't play anymore? Let's be honest here. Like, you're really a diehard Seminole player, which this is why you get recruited, and this is why you select that school. But if you see another game tonight that's a 35-7, I mean, at one point, it's not coaching anymore. It's just the players themselves. They don't care anymore.
Yeah. It's pretty bad. It's pretty bad.
By the way, a quick update score on Notre Dame Boston College. It's still 3-0 Notre Dame with 5 minutes to go. So there you go.
So before we end here, Canes again pull out a tough game, 25-24 against the Virginia Tech Hokies. Next week it's against Georgia Tech at 8:00 p.m. If you're not at the game, you're probably not going to see it because nobody has ACC Network. But it is at 8 p.m. next Saturday against Georgia Tech.
Will you be there, or is it Paul and Kylie?
It's going to be Paul and Kylie, I think, at that game. I'll be at the UNC game with, I don't remember who, with Jocks.
That game might tell if you guys stay in the top 2 or 3 for sure.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be a shoot. Well, not only with them, man, but Wake Forest too. Wake Forest put 53 points up today. It's going to be tough from here on out because Georgia Tech is just tricky. It's a tricky game, man. It always is a tricky game, and we should win, of course, but we'll see what happens there. Any good games before we close this out? Obviously, we'll be on this week, Six Rings Cane Show, and hopefully we'll have some new art to show you guys as well. Some nice stuff going on. But any big games tonight, Manny, that we should be.
Tonight, I mean, unfortunately, a lot of SEC battle games have been canceled due to COVID. You have Florida, Arkansas, obviously. The Florida State games at 7:30 for all Gator Canes fans to enjoy.
Yeah, great.
I believe it's Michigan and I think Wisconsin tonight.
Yeah, Michigan, Wisconsin. Yeah,
Wisconsin's
must win for Michigan, right? If not, Harbaugh's out. What do you think?
For sure. I mean, the man doesn't even have to play Ohio State, and he's unfortunately done nothing.
Yeah.
And that's a program there that has so many story traditions and pride, and I'm still even shocked that he's even still there. I mean, after you lost once again to Ohio State last year, if that wasn't enough, I really don't know what the Big Blue have left. I think
that sucks.
Let me look at the schedule real quick, and I'll mention it because there were a lot of good games that were canceled this week, unfortunately, due to COVID. And we all know, and we definitely all know about those.
I mean, put it this way: it was so bad that the College Game Day went to the Masters, went to Augusta, and did their show there. So,
all right,
nothing really.
No, you see, as far as I'm looking at right now, it's only
So guess what?
Michigan, you have Oregon and Washington State at 7:00 at night. Obviously, I said Arkansas, Florida. You have Northwestern and Purdue.
Okay.
Right now, you have USC and Arizona. So
USC, Arizona. Okay.
USC, Arizona. That game is still in the first quarter, tied at 7. So the game tonight, obviously, you have the Florida State game against NC State, Oregon, Washington State, Wisconsin, Michigan, and the SEC only one with Arkansas and Florida. So there's a big game in every single conference tonight. Now the question will be, which one are you more entertained by? Like I said, Florida game might be a blowout. I'm not saying it will be. It's Felipe Frank's return.
Arkansas is better than people think.
Tonight will be all who big suies tonight. That's what it's gonna be.
Whatever.
But there you go.
Yeah. So you know what that means? Just go out and drink, man. I'm a believer that Miami will be able to compete with Clemson. King has progressed to where he can match up with Lawrence. Tough games like this show mental toughness. Yeah, man, I'm with you, Chris. It's tough, man, for anybody, any team, whether it's the Canes or not, to go through a season like this, be 7-1, be down some players, some critical players on the offensive line, defensive line, and still pull out a tough road game. It's always tough to play in Blacksburg, no matter who you are. Virginia Tech's tough at home, and so to come away there with a big win, I've stopped. By the way, based off of your previous message, I've stopped being an overreactor on us struggling against some of these teams or keeping them in the ball game because of everything that's going on, man. I think it's good that we're winning. I think a lot of these games we might drop. Before 2 or 3 years before we drop these games. So yeah, I'm not overreacting. I'm just happy that they're winning ball games and it is building some character. It is building toughness. And I think you're right. I think King and the whole team has progressed. Just offense on defense. You can tell, as somebody else mentioned here, you can tell when Manny starts to put his 2 cents into the defense, and you see them play a little bit different also. So, the second half is great for the Hurricane defense. The first half is something they need to clean up. They need to play a complete game on defense overall in order for them to get to that ACC championship game possibly. They control their own destiny, like you said, Manny. They got to win out. If they don't win out, they're screwed either way. But if they do win out, and they don't make it to the ACC championship game, they still have a New Year's Six Bowl game as well, and that could boast well not only for obviously their win-loss record and how good they are, but for recruiting purposes as well. I think it's going to play a big part in some of the guys that we still have left to recruit. So we'll see what happens. We're excited about it. 7-1 is better than 6-2, man. That's what I got to say.
What it be?
Hey, look at Dave comes in now, ready, and I'm ready to get out of here.
Clutch. Hey, listen, like I do at night, I give you guys a few good minutes.
Oh, thanks, man. I appreciate it. That's all we need.
Exactly. Yeah, I know. I'm good at
that. So how about this? I'm gonna jump off really quick because if not, my fiance is gonna kill me because we have people coming over later. So, but Dave, big win, 25-24. I don't care what anybody says. This team is starting to grow some hair and to build some character. And no matter what, it's tough to win at Blacksburg 25-24. I'm happy for that. And we'll definitely take it. Defense started to step up in the second half. So I'll leave you guys to it. Thank you, Manny.
Couch and Phillips, man. Both deserve big balls today.
Couch and Phillips. See you guys later.
Later, Jazz.
David, I gotta go too. I apologize.
Glad that John was able to jump on and just celebrate for a second with you guys, fashionably late as hell. But
no. So then, before we go, what's your 2 cents then of the of this game? What did you like? What didn't you like? Did it go the way you expected it to?
Listen, it wasn't an aesthetically pleasing game, but the fact is, like Jazz said right before he left, that you got to win on the road in the ACC late in the season. I mean, you take the ugly wins because those are games in years past that Miami has lost. So, I mean, you're 7-1 in the ACC. I mean,
yeah,
it is what it is. I like that the defense kind of responded at the end when it counted. I didn't like the lack of a running game that was able to close it out there at the end to give them one more chance.
So before I cut you off there, that was my thing with Jazz, that I felt the offense had 2 possessions to close it out. They couldn't convert on third down, and that obviously gave the other, the Hokies, extra possessions. Which, if that's a much better offense, who knows what could happen in that game? But I felt like the offensive play calling towards the end with all these sweet plays and just trying to be cute. It's like, listen, you need 10 yards for the first down. Make Virginia Tech use your timeouts. Get 1 or 2 first down. You at least get one more first down. That's an extra like 2-3 minutes off the clock.
Yeah.
Their timeouts are being used.
Yeah.
You know? So this
Big
whole
change.
thing in the end, this whole shenanigans in the end wouldn't be happening. But it's like those it's like the whole fake field goal attempt. Or the fake, like those are things that once again it wasn't needed. Like your offense had a great drive, put points up on the board. You're on the road, get your defense back out there, let them get going again. And I truly thought that when that happened, that maybe the whole Kane sideline was just like not down, but they're like, damn, okay. Even though it took them a while to wake up again, and those are things that I think it's like I told Jazz, this is not the NFL, it's college kids. Okay,
right.
They're gonna run off emotion, and that to me, it definitely affected them in the beginning part of that game.
Well, let me just take those two situations before we jump off. Okay, the fake field goal. If you're to go for a 4th down, leave King in the offense on the field.
Correct.
I don't hate the call.
From FIU, Jose Borregales is trying to run up the middle, man. What's going on here?
I love him as a kicker. I mean, but I don't want him out there on 4th down running the ball. It's not why he's here. So I don't mind going for it, but just how you did it. But what's more egregious is the 2-point conversion. Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't have drawn up a swing, a reverse pass to Zion Nelson. I mean, I'm not an offensive coordinator, but I'm not going to that well in my playbook. Like, it's not like option B. Oh, the Zion Nelson play. Let me get that real quick.
Funny story. When I looked up and I saw that number 67 had the football in his hand, I literally thought he had scooped up a fumble.
I'm like, I had to see guy running with the football.
And I see number 67 trying to do a spin and dive. I'm like, what?
Like, at least get my hand up.
What's going on here?
First of all, I caught the ball though, so which is what a lot of guys can say.
Horrific running up the field. Absolutely slow.
No, listen. If you could put Zion Nelson's hands on one of the receivers' bodies, you got something. So.
Hey, I think that Nelson should be trying to lose some weight to be a tight end, man.
He could be tight end free. I mean, he can block. But no, go for 2 there, obviously. I mean, with the points, you got to go for 2. But, I mean, even though it's early, they say don't chase points, blah, blah, blah. Go for 2. And this is, making it feel – but don't throw the ball to Zion Nelson. Get King outside the pocket. I mean, you have trouble getting inside the pocket.
It wasn't great of a fake because all you see is King. It's just like this and be like, ooh. Like, dude, get it out there. He's just throwing it slowly. And I'm like, oh,
I thought Zion Nelson was gonna jump a foot up in the air and just dash in on a bubble screen or something.
But listen, overall, you got the W. That's the only thing that matters. And I think Jazz is right with the whole COVID thing going on. It's not about style points. It's about just getting the W and going on to the next week. So, and you guys have a great, great opportunity. Hoping that Notre Dame loses today against Boston College. By the way, score update in that game. Boston College has scored a touchdown, ladies and gentlemen.
What happened in NC and Wake?
North Carolina won 59-53. So that will be a showdown when you guys play the Tar Heels. But right now, if Notre Dame loses this game, I would think that Miami will be second in the ACC. Is that maybe I'm lying?
Yeah.
Right?
I got to look at the tiebreaker and stuff like that. But
okay.
I mean, they both have one conference loss, so
correct. But yeah. Well, then this will be a conference loss for Notre Dame though as well because it's Boston College. But for Canes fans,
exactly
this game. But that Miami North Carolina game to me, man, that to me right there is one that forget about getting to the ACC championship. That right there is basically the bowl game. It's basically
Wake Forest, man. Let's not overlook Wake Forest the week before.
I'm not.
They don't suck. I mean,
no.
All these ACC teams are pretty even. There's an upper middle tier. I think Notre Dame's a better team than Miami.
Same about Florida State right now.
No, you can't. No, come on.
You give a
big drop off to Florida State
here when they gave up 40-something points to Pittsburgh, and I understand 1 or 2 of them came from defensive scores. But I'm like, since when does Pittsburgh have an offense to score 20-plus points?
Florida State's just a disaster all around. So, I mean, it's like 2020, nothing's pretty. Just get through it. That's the motto of 2020. Survive.
Correct.
Just live to see another day. So, we'll take it. we'll lick our wounds. We'll come home and we'll regroup.
For sure. All right, Dave. I think we're gonna log off here. We're gonna have
Thanks,
a show.
Manny.
I know we're gonna have a show this week. We still have to. We'll probably, I don't know, maybe Tuesday or Wednesday. Next week's game at Georgia Tech at the Hard Rock, 8 p.m. on ACC Network.
Oh.
I'm letting you know, you Canes fans know it's on ACC Network. You guys have a week to try to figure out where to watch the game.
Free trial Hulu. Get a Hulu free trial.
There you go. Make up an email, get another credit card number. Just remember to cancel it after the game. Don't get surprised when you get like another like statement. Like $8.99 has been taken off your account.
Yeah.
Reporting stuff. So all right, guys. Thank you for joining us. We'll talk to you soon.